Well, hello again and welcome back, and I'm back on the Sealine trying to do some more jobs. As I said in my update video, you know, I really want to crack on with this boat this sort of spring now, and the first job I've got to do, ever since I've bought the boat, I thought it was working, but ever since I bought the boat, there is in the engine compartment, I don't know how well you'll see this because it's incredulously dark here, but just there, that where my finger is there, that is an original fitted battery charger. I mean, I think that came with the boat, so it's 20 years old coming up, and it doesn't appear to work. It is wired directly in to the shore power on the panel in the cabin. I've pulled the plug out and tried it with another plug directly into the socket over there. Got a socket for the 1 kilowatt water heater on the calorifier there, so I've tried that and it didn't work with another socket. It's completely dead. So I've got this, I was looking around. Obviously, as I've explained before, this boat is very much on a budget for me, and I managed to get this Blue Smart IP22 Victron charger, which has got a 2 output charge, so it will do both batteries, and I think I paid around about £130 for that. I was looking at the Sterling battery charger, which a lot of people, you know, seem to think are brilliant, and a lot of Sealine owners and other boat owners, narrowboat owners as well, have used Sterling products, and they are highly rated. But this got very good reviews, so I thought we'd have a go and try and fit this. Today what I want to try and do is, obviously I'm going to disconnect both positive terminals off the batteries, because I think this is wired into the batteries still. Well, it is, and I might even have to move this. This is the domestic, you know, like the lights and the pump and that kind of thing. I think I'm going to have to probably move this out, otherwise it's going to be impossible to try and get this one off the wall. So yeah, that's the first job anyway. We'll disconnect the batteries and come back and see how we're getting on anyway. Right, well, I've got both battery positives off now, so that's the what I'd call a domestic battery, and down the other side you've got the engine battery or the starter battery. So I've got both disconnected now, positive sides, obviously, because I don't know how this charger is wired up there to them until we take it off and have a closer look. So I shall now pull the power lead off. It's switched off, the mains shore power is all off, and we'll try and get that off the wall now. See how it's going to be difficult getting in the other side, but we'll have a whirl. Well, I've managed after a bit of a struggle there to get the old battery charged out and disconnected. It's only on these, the wires only come in this, the, you know, outputs to the battery only come off these like chocky blocky things, terminal job is. I should have said I've checked that blade fuse, which was okay. I think this is a Newage, an American battery charger. I will update you. I will take this home. For those that see on my on my YouTube channel rather, I do dabble in vintage electronics. I repair old radios and TVs, so we will certainly, you know, if you don't know what you're doing, don't take the cover off or leave well alone, just refit the new one. But I will certainly, you know, I've you know, had electrical engineering training, and I do know what's what. I'm not au fait with battery chargers, but we could do some basic tests on it and see, you know, if it's dead or worth saving or whatever. I shall still fit the Victron, the new charger, and we'll get on and have a go with fixing it. I'm just sorry there is nowhere down in this little cubby hole that I can locate the camera to show you what I'm doing, you know, but I'll update you. And you know, that was relatively straightforward. If you have one of these and you've got one, you know, to be honest, there again I would recommend you check the tightness of the screws, because I think with maybe the vibration of the Volvo engine here, it wasn't In fact, one side I have to say was hanging off. Now I don't think that's anything to do with why it stopped working, but I would certainly check your screws if you have an original one of these, and we'll come back. I'll get the new one out the box. So there we go. This is the new charger I have now. Sorry, I'm waving up a camera about. This morning, the boat. It's quite windy here, and the boat's rocking about, which isn't helping matters. This is the new charger. I've got it out the box now. We'll sort the plug out later. That has to go through the bulkhead and is connected, as I say, into the shore power panel. I might not have time to do that today, but we can try it. We can plug it in to our socket down there. So it's quite a nice unit, nice and small, very light, not like the old one I've just taken out, and I really like that. It'll fit there very well, and as I say, on the sites that I've looked at it and people that have fitted it have given it very good reviews. And as I say, I think this one, I got it, I'll put a link to the firm I bought it from. They gave me a 10% discount because I'd bought quite a little bit of stuff for the narrowboat rewire from them, and they kindly sent me a 10% discount, which I could then obviously take off this, which took the price down to just over £130, which I thought was, you know, really quite competitive for a battery charger. Like I say, I have to vote on a budget. The cheapest sterling 2-output charger I could find was, I think, around about 189, 190, and then they went upwards to 200 plus. So obviously it's quite a lot of difference, and but we'll see how this gets on. You know, as I say, I think it will be fine. This is purely a summer boat. You know, this isn't a liverboard. Gracious, no, it's a fun sports cruiser. It's about the type of boat you come and sit on more than you'd probably use, you know, to go out. So obviously the battery charger is quite useful, and to keep the batteries nicely topped up on their own. But yeah, nice unit. It's lovely and light. So as I say, we'll have a go and see if we can get it fitted now. One thing I have noticed is the and I don't know, there again, you probably won't see this particularly well, the ends of the wires that went in have got a lot of corrosion on them. Now there again, whether that, I wouldn't have thought, they're quite clean where they had been slid and screwed in. I wouldn't have thought that would have stopped the unit working. Obviously I googled when I couldn't get it to function, and I tried everything, you know, physically possible without removing it. I did Google and went on to the Sealine owners forum, and it seems quite a few people after a few years have had problems with these older factory fitted battery chargers dying. But as I say, 19 years is probably a very good life in quite a, what you'd call a hostile environment down there. You must get an awful lot of temperature changes. You know, in the winter it gets very cold, in the summer it probably gets very hot. It's dry, it doesn't get, but there must be a certain amount of moisture content as well down there. And obviously that's why this new one I like it, because it's the IP rated for those kind of, you know, obviously you couldn't fit it outside anywhere, but it is what's the IP22 rating, which I think, you know, means you can fit it in engine compartments and that kind of environment. So yeah, we'll get on and see if we can fit it now anyway. Well, there we go. After a bit of a fight, I've got the new one screwed on and fitted and connected up. Very easy to connect up, and I think I've been telling you wrong. This actually is a 3-output charger. Obviously I only wanted a two-way output charger, but I don't think Victron do a 2-way. It's a 3-way or 1-way, so that's even better. If I ever wanted another battery to be charged up, there is potential. It's fitted in there very well, it's very secure on the brackets. Obviously this is much lighter than the old one, and I've cleaned all the ends of the terminals up,
and they virtually fit like for like on with the other one, so there was nothing to change there. I've slightly brought it up a little bit. I thought that the other one was so long, obviously it stretched virtually from the top of the engine compartment right down to where those wires come out down there, and I've pulled this one up a little bit. I thought, you know, that's obviously always an advantage, you know, and it's got good ventilation around it there, and so we'll have a whirl. We'll as I say, I'm not going to, eventually this plug is going to be cut off and the wire will be passed through where my finger, can you see where my finger is there? It'll go through there to the bulkhead into the cabin, and I believe it connects up there under the shore power, so we can do that at a later date. Now you get a nice, coming back out, you get a nice little cover to put over the connections, which will slide back in, make sure they're all nice and tight, and then I can connect the batteries back up and we can see if it powers up anyway. So there we go. Yeah, horrendous place to put a battery charger, really. You know, I did consider moving it, but obviously it's nice and handy for the batteries. Your wiring is all there ready, so realistically, why mess about? You know, go. You know, basically what I'm doing is like as near as like for like. This is just, you know, a modern version of what was there previous. So yeah, we'll get the little cover back on and connect the batteries back up and see how we go. Well, there we go. I plugged it in and switched it on, and it's come on, and it seems to be running fine. And of course, naturally, today I forgot to bring my multimeter down, and I was gonna, you know, just see what it is, but it should be putting 14.4 into both batteries. It's on that setting. You can use this on Bluetooth and set it all up on your phone, and whether I ever go down that route I don't know, but the thing I wanted was a battery charger that worked. And I mean, I think this domestic battery is you know, getting a bit past its sell by date. The engine battery was replaced, I know, before I bought the boat, so I think I would have to look maybe at, you know, sort of getting a new battery on here, perhaps even putting a 110 volt battery on there. It's not really got great capabilities, I don't think, that one, but anyway, we'll see what happens. We'll see how they charge up now, and it's a nice little unit. I'm really pleased with it. As I say, for £130, very easy. You can replace it with basic tools, a Phillips screwdriver, drill to drill your new holes, because your holes won't line up probably with your old existing battery charger, some stainless steel, 4 stainless steel self-tapping screws, and a small electric screwdriver, and you can do it. And what that's taken me under an hour to fit that and get it up and running. So yeah, you know, if you have got one of these or you're looking for a battery charger, I'll give you a progress report of how I get on with it and how it's working, you know, later on. Obviously early days, I've only just switched it on, but yeah, I'm delighted with it. It's gone in there so well and it looks neat. As I say, this wire, this mains wire that I'm holding here, obviously I will, you know, put that through and connect it up properly into the shore power, because I'll show you how normally you would switch the battery charger on in a moment on this boat, and there is an isolation point then that, you know, whether I leave it running, I think at the moment in time I shan't. I shall just have it running when I'm on the boat. I'm always a bit, you know, I'm even a bit dubious. So when I mean, over the winter I do have these tubular heaters running, you know, on their own, and it might be 3 or 4 days before I get to visit the boat, and there's never been a problem, but I'm always a bit concerned, you know, when you leave something running. But it is designed to be left on and to you know, to float the batteries up to a charge, and then theoretically it should just cut out. And but it's extremely quiet, I have to say, which is a plus point, because obviously it's very close to the the cat under the berth that comes under the cabin is very close to there, and I know it has got a fan in it. So yeah, I'm delighted with that, and we'll report back later and see how, you know, how it's going on in a week or so's time, how I found it and how it's performing. But I hope perhaps some of you have found that interesting. I have to say, obviously I have no connection with this firm at all whatsoever, so I want to, you know, I paid for this myself, and it's got a very nice, easy to use manual, as I say, which is very straightforward, and, you know, runs through the basics, and yeah, with basic tools it's in the bounds of anybody to fit that. You know, you don't have to be an electrical engineer, or, you know, obviously you take the natural precautions, you know, disconnect the batteries, take the shore power, unplug the shore power and all that kind of thing while you're doing the job. Yeah, there we go. So that is the VictronEnergy Blue Smart IP22 charger, and it's a 3 outlet charger. And I'll say I'll update this video because I'm going to take the old charger home, which I've just temporarily laid up there under the seat, and we will take that out on the bench and break it down, and, you know, I've got to leave it up at home, and we'll see whether we can see that anything that failed or went wrong. But yeah, so there we go. Well, hopefully I've come in, and we're looking at the panel, the electric panel in the cabin. You can see the top 2 banks are like all the 12-volt stuff. You've got the navigation lights, the cabin lights, etc., and even down to here you've got the pump, water and waste and fridge. Then we come right down to the bottom, and we have the main trip and circuit breaker for the shore power, and you can see there is a switch which is wired in to the battery charger, which I was saying about, and then obviously the wire comes through that. I think I can zoom in there on this boat. There's a like an opening there through to the all the bits and pieces of the water pump and more power connections, and I'm sure there is a join there where the existing or the old battery charger is hooked up to this switch, so we can do that and hook it up there, and so we still use that. We zoom back out, there we go. We can still use this switch then on the battery charger. I don't know whether you can see these, but you can see we're getting a good charge. As I say, I forgot to bring the multimeter, but the charger is working fine. The batteries are charging up on both on the dials there, so that's pretty good. Yeah, pleased about that. It's charging well at over 4. It should be 14.4, and on this needle here, it's giving us 14, just about 14. Well, almost 15 on that, but we won't worry about that. That's working well. That's brilliant. So hopefully, you know, that is going to be working well. So I don't know about that. That's the unknown factor, whether that cabin light battery and the one that does the pumps, the water and all this kerfuffle will hold a charge. How long, we'll have to see. But there you go. So yeah, thanks for watching, and do subscribe. Read the old battery charger. I should probably do a separate little video about that, because this is getting far too long again, and I don't want to ramble on and bore everybody to death. So, but yeah, thanks for watching. I hope some of you might have found this useful if you have a boat and you're looking at battery chargers. As I say, I think both Victron and the Sterling are both cracking good makes by all accounts. Probably the Sterling tops the Victron. You know, it's got such a good reputation. I know it from my narrowboat, you know, people as well who speak highly of it. So yeah, there we go. Thanks for watching. Please do subscribe. Please do come back. We shall be working. The next job on this boat is to continue on and try to sort this Eberspacher heater out. I have the new copper pipe to continue on
you know, for a bit of an little bit of an update on that. We got as far as putting the tank standpipe in and got that in with a new turn-off tap, and now we've got to run the copper pipe from that to the heater. So that will be the next job. So yeah, do come back, and thanks for watching. Bye for now.